family. This is all family. Amen. So, what I want to do, I want to get Brother D this time next Friday. He's got a hearing. Amen. And so I want him to share with us. Amen. And then we're going to go around the table and get anybody that has any announcements. Brother D, where's my full man? He's back there. Amen. Hey, he's going to be.
Everybody brought this one.
All right. My full man. It only works for holy people. Yo. Okay. You bishop.
Like Bishop said, I have court Friday, next Friday. I get that.
To you.
But they're trying to revoke my probation.
You got see this one you got.
They're trying to revoke my probation. There was a situation that happened at Central High School where they're trying to, I don't know if y'all seen on the news, it was a situation that happened when I was a kid that labeled me a sex offender, you know, and they're trying to use that. None of this stuff lines up with Kentucky law and all this and that, but they're trying to use that to lock me up and violate my probation. And they don't even got the right information in there. So it's malicious, and my lawyer already put in a complaint because the prosecutor and the judge was over-sentencing me. David Bowes and Becky, I can't think of her last name, but these was the same judge and prosecutor that's on my situation when I got assaulted by the police officer last April. But it's malicious. I'm maxed out on the time. I was on house arrest for 8 months. I spent time in the county and everything, but I just need y'all support. If y'all don't know my situation, please look into my situation for me. I'm open about it. I don't got nothing to hide. Like I said, they're trying to use something that happened when I was a juvenile, and I'm open about it. If you want to talk about it, thank you.
Thank you so much. Give us the time. D. About the date and the time.
I know I got everybody's numbers. So.
Okay, let's hear from Sister Stella and the information from the Inspector General. And I said she's got to be leaving in 20 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I do not have anything any different to report other than to say this time next Friday, I may or may not be with you. I have to do 40 hours of mandatory ride along with police. So I have to do their shift, which is in 12-hour increments. So it depends on how I feel because I've not worked at night in years. So I'm going to do my best, but if I'm not here, just know either I'm with a police officer or I'm at home in a bed. That's all I have.
All right, thank you so much. Sister next to introduce yourself.
My name is Lois Kimama. Good morning, and this is my very first time to attend this meeting. I did not know anything about it, but I learned it from the bishop when we met at Simmons College a couple of weeks ago. I am originally from Kenya, hence the accent, which makes it, everybody around me usually has an accent too, so, but that's where I'm from. But here, I work for Stockyards Bank, and I'm the manager for the branch inside Kroger. I have been in banking for 27 years, and I have held a lot of different positions. But my biggest passion is helping people and connecting people and looking for the possibility and giving people opportunities where there's none. So as a banker, I've been privileged to see how it works. And the secret I found out is not how much you make, it's how well you manage the little you make. That's the secret between the haves and the have-nots. So I tried to find resources. For example, yesterday I had somebody who came for a car loan. Her credit score is bad. It's 580. In my bank right now, she would not qualify because the minimum credit score we require is 620. However, I partner with Black Chambers of Commerce. I don't know if you're aware, we have a Black Chambers of Commerce. Yes, it's new. We are working on it. We're in the preliminaries. And the other day I had to tell my employees to pinch me because I couldn't believe it. They put me in the president's circle. If you only knew my story. My parents, my parents could not read or write. I'm an only girl. I was the baby, and I'm the only one who went to college. I was also a teenage mother, and that's the best mistake I ever made. So God has a sense of humor.
Yes, He did.
I used to sleep in the kitchen. We fold the bed in the morning so we can use the kitchen. Now my little girl, her cars sleep in the house, in the car garage. Yeah. So anyway, my daughter is 42. I know I look 42. So that's okay. God is good. I have 2 grandchildren. But back to the short story about yesterday, about opportunities. Yesterday, when that lady, I knew she wouldn't work out, I sent a quick email to the president, the CEO for the Black Chambers of Commerce, and asked him if there's anything we can do. And he sent out the email to the rest of the partners. And in no time, I found out there's a place that they can get the loan regardless of their credit. They look at other things. The first time I met that president was when I went to Lobo Central Community Center. I'm sure you all are very familiar with it. Mr. Kevin Fields is the president, the CEO. I've known Mr. Fields for 25 years, and I worked with him when he was with the Lobo Urban League and many other places. I've loved to volunteer a lot. And they had a conversation between, about a panel discussion about the great divide between African immigrants and African Americans, where I fit comfortably. So he invited me, and long story short, Verna Gottlieb from the mayor's office was there. She's the one who, She's the one who connected me with Mr. Shawu, the president of CEO for Black Chambers of Commerce. And God is working miracles through that program. Well, when I attended the gala that he invited me to, I saw an article. They had one of those full-size brochures. What is it called? The banners with the instructions. And they were giving loans if you have 585 credit score. Even if you're in Section 8, you can qualify for a mortgage. Who knew? So I reached out to him, and he connected me with the. I connected him with a church where we went and had people come in and were told about it. So what I'm trying to tell you, because I know we are on a tight schedule and I don't like to talk a lot, is if there's anything I can do to help. I may not be able to do it at the bank, but even if I don't, I pride in being instrumental in helping uplift our people. So I do have cards here and pass around. If you know somebody, I go to the businesses. I help people with education. I'm very passionate about education. That's my last card.
Okay, what I want y'all to know is,
Yeah.
she is at the West End
Broadway.
Broadway branch, and just give her a hand.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, and so while we're over in that corner, let's get our community police, Brother Bradley.
I'll be really brief. Good morning, everybody. I passed out some sheets that we finally got our Faith in Blue, second annual Faith in Blue, coming up on the 29th of October. The location is going to be 4936 Hazelwood Avenue at Spirit-filled New Life Christian Church. It's at Bishop Kelsey's church. So we're going to be doing Faith in Blue. We're going to have give outs, and we're going to be giving kids a gift card for the best dressed in the costume. So that's coming up on the 29th. We'll have a bouncy house. We'll have the helicopter out there so they can get in. We'll have the Hummer. We'll have other activities they can do. So just letting everybody know the 29th is going to be the day for that.
Okay. And at the table, y'all know that if we have any concerns about the police, he's here every week. He's the community liaison with the police. And so each week, he's right here. And not only while he's here, if you have any concerns during the week, if you can't get in touch with him, amen, just call the office or call me. He's writing out. So we actually have a policeman at our fingertips. And not only that, but usually the assistant chief is usually right here with us. So that definitely plays a very important part in our relationship. Okay, somebody else I wanted to get to is the Rotary Club. They're working with Greenwood Cemetery. And my grand is down there, my aunt is down there in Greenwood. And we are glad to have him. And I know that he may want some of us to become a part of the Rotary Club. Mike?
Yeah, hi, my name is Mike King. I've been here before. I grew up in this neighborhood, and as I mentioned before, in 1965, I pumped gas right in this same building. So anyway,
Right here?
right here. Yeah. So anyway, after I went to a school called Flagey, which is right down. My wife went to Loretta, and after school, I made part-time money pumping gas. But anyway, yeah, I'm with the Rotary Club of Louisville Suburban. We work at Greenwood Cemetery, trying to renovate it. There's a group of us that come in there to cut grass and do repair work. All of us work for free. We're all volunteers from Rotary. We get no funds, no support, no money from anyone. Everything is strictly out of our own pockets. However, we can always use people to come in to help cut grass and stuff like that. I've been talking to Dee about doing some stuff down there also. And if you look at the cemetery today versus 3 years ago, it's a whole different thing. It looks a lot better now. We're usually there every Saturday morning, and we hit or miss. We now have the parochial schools, like St. X and Trinity, are sending their kids down there to do community work that they have to put in so many hours. Like on tomorrow, I'll have 11 kids working with me in the morning, raking, picking up paper and stuff like that. The big news is on November 12th, there will be a Veterans Day ceremony inside the cemetery. Okay, we had one last year. We also had Memorial Day. We're dedicating a flagpole that we're putting up, a nice large flagpole. And when we first started, we knew there was 120 veterans in the cemetery, and everything else was covered up. Since then, we've gotten a lot of things uncovered. We've discovered 535 graves that belong to veterans, including Elijah Morris, who was in the Civil War. He was a civil rights leader in the late 1800s. He helped found Simmons College. He was a co-founder, and he's actually buried in the cemetery, and that's where we have the thing. So I'm gonna bring some flowers down next week, and as we get this thing organized, the public is invited, and we hope everybody can make it. And one last thing, we're going to have a Facebook now called Greenwood Cemetery Community Partners, and we're doing more than just cutting grass now. We've sort of expanded that. At this point, we have some donations that came from the earlier tornado relief funds. We have a lot of ladies' clothes and men's clothes. A lot of them are brand spanking new. And now we're not giving them out one at a time because it's sort of hard to do that. But if you have a clothes closet wherever you come from and you need a lot of clothes, we got them. Just contact me and I'll be glad to make arrangements for you to pick them up. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We definitely want to make sure that we support our Greenwood Cemetery because that definitely belongs to us. We got Sister Kathleen, and Also Reverend Snorton. What, did I say it right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. And we three are very, very proud to say that we are pushing the Grandmaster Come Home, and we definitely want you all to get on that wagon to support. Then also there's another event. But I just want to mention before you all leave that we got the judge. She's running for judge. Dorsey Lee Gilbert. He's going to run for governor, but that's next year. Brother Duvall, and then my brother's running for school board. So we definitely want to recognize any other politicians that's here. We definitely want to recognize them. Let me, number one, that Reverend Snorton gives us, we want to thank him, number one, for opening up the church. What we have is on the 15th, this is on the 15th of October, there's going to be a rally for bringing Grandmaster Jay home. And you can get the particulars about the injustice that is taking place. But I just want to give you the schedule. We're going to line up at Joshua around Reverend Louis Coleman's memorial sign. That's where we're going to line up. We're going to meet there. And Grandmaster's people will be here from all over. Our organizations here in Louisville will be over. And we're going to line up and we're going to walk from there to King Solomon. And Brother Bradley will be able to help us. We said walk because we didn't have time enough to get a permit, but as long as we stay on the sidewalk, then we definitely, and I know we got the support of Major Hilly and Brother Bradley. So we're going to walk from his church, from that corner up to 16th Street, and go straight on over to King Solomon. When we get to King Solomon, that's where a rally will take place, and that will start at 3 o'clock. So we're leaving 2 o'clock, walk over to King Solomon, have a rally for a couple of hours, and we'll have various persons from different organizations to speak and rally around Grandmaster Jay. Like Sister Kathleen can fill us in more on the particulars about his case, but Reverend Snorton, you have another event that I want you to share.
Thank you,
He's
Bishop.
president of the Interdenominational Ministerial Coalition. So we're glad to have him.
Thank you, Bishop, for giving me a little time. I'm going to have to run off after this in preparation of an event for tomorrow. But just to give you the address, October the 15th, that rally, the address of the church is 426 South 15th Street. It's across the street from Central's football stadium. So you have Joshua, you have Louis Coleman's memorial, and then you have Central's football stadium. And we know Muhammad Ali graduated from Central. I want to share with you about an event that's taking place tomorrow at Joshua, 426 South 15th Street from 11 to 2 o'clock. A group is coming in from South Carolina, New Alpha Ministries, and they are dealing with, it's a religious organization, and Pastor Woodbury has created this organization. It's a regional organization where they deal with environmental justice in the South. And they have a presence in D.C. as well, and as well as across the South. They're coming in tomorrow. We're going to have a forum around environmental justice. They have been shipping some equipment to the church in case of disaster relief. So we know what happened in Western Kentucky a couple years ago, now Eastern Kentucky with the flooding. And we have things such as generators, electric vehicles, stations where you can have take a shower, so you can sterilize water to help maintain people until first responders gets there. So we'll be able to get on those electric bikes and ride around to get to people. And Dr. Woodbury, Reverend Woodbury told me those bikes get up to 40 miles an hour. And there's a whole lot of other things that come in those packages, and we're going to disperse those packages. We're looking for churches or other organizations around the state of Kentucky to get those packages to. And then in an event that there's a natural disaster, those locations or those churches can be a hub or a setting quarters in order to know where to go to get help, and in order to have a headquarters to get help out to people. This is taking place on tomorrow at Joshua 426 South 15th Street at 11 a.m., 11 to 2. We are going to serve food. Get there early, because once it's gone, it's gone. We can't feed the whole city of Louisville. We can feed who shows up, and who shows up on time. Amen. That means you ain't taking no to-go plate. Amen. But thank you all. I'm going to have to run out in preparation. I'm coming in town on today, and I'll send you some more information, Bishop, so you can get ready for it.
Remember, anything that y'all have, we're on radio every day, 1:30, 5:30, and 10 at night. 1:30 from 1:30 to 2, 5:30 from 5:30 to 6, and 10 o'clock from 10 to 11. So, Miss Stockyard, amen. If y'all got any advertising money, if you did, man, send it over. Help a brother out. Amen. Okay, Brother LeBron, I want to, he's the one to stand. He bought Grandmaster J here. LeBron bought Grandmaster J here. And so before Sister Kathleen come on him to share with us, amen, some remarks.
Right. I just want to say, I was on the phone with Jay last night, and I just want to make sure that this situation with him is really taken seriously. A lot of folks don't know the history of why he came, to the city, and I'm the reason he came to the city. And I just want to make sure that this situation that's going on with him now, to bring him home, number one, is not a publicity stunt, and that it's taken seriously. Because this man came and brought people from all across the nation who didn't know anybody in this room, didn't know anybody in this city, and they came here to die for us, to get some justice. Yeah. And nothing against the protesters or anything, because also this situation is not about just Jay coming home, but it's about all the charges being dropped against all the protesters that have any charges, anybody that has any charges through this situation. All charges should be dropped, because the situation should have never happened. And I'm just saying, if this man does time and these protesters end up doing time for these quote-unquote crimes that they committed during this time frame, I'm very ashamed of the city, of the leadership, everybody, because this is a travesty in history. And I'm serious about this, man. I will not let my man go down with this situation. It is injustice. I'm surprised we don't have a slew of black attorneys just crawling in here to take this case. It is injustice. And I stand on one thing. Number one, I know God got my back in all of this, I stand alone, because I know my man was in the courtroom. I didn't see a lot of people in that courtroom with me and Jay. I didn't see a lot of people in that courtroom with me and Jay. Them folks lied on him, man. That prosecutor lied on him. That prosecutor lied to me. They tried to kick me out 3 times because I kept having outbursts. LMPD lied straight up. I want to do a lawsuit against the city of Louisville, LMPD, and Daniel Cameron's office. I need an attorney that'll take a civil case. If I was a drug dealer, if I got pulled over, the police asked to search my car, and I told them no, and they did an illegal search and found drugs, I would go to jail for that because they found the drugs. 6 months later, if they got caught up in some type of corruption, I would get out. Y'all know that. It's happened many times. And I stand on one thing and one thing only. One thing and one thing only, where I say, bring my man home and drop all these charges against all these people and all the businesses downtown that got all this insurance money from all the riots and all the stuff that went down when everybody was mad and frustrated and tore this city up. All the businesses, all that should come out of Daniel Cameron, the city of Louisville, and LP's ass, man. I'm saying it just happened like that, man, and that's what I'm standing on for. One reason and one reason only. If I was the attorney, I would ask a couple of questions. I would say, why was the female police officer fired from LMPD in the case after the feds came in? Not the city of Louisville, not LMPD on their own. They could have done it. Not Daniel Cameron's office, they could have done it. But after the feds came in and found them guilty, they got fired. Why did the woman get fired? I just want to know that, number one. Why did she get fired? Because she did that falsified warrant.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that means if that warrant would have never been done, and this is what I stand on, if that warrant would have never been written, Breonna Taylor would still be here today.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
If that warrant would have never been issued, Breonna Taylor would still be here in Louisville, Kentucky, y'all. So that means that D would have never had to quit his football situation and come down here and carry that cross out in them streets. That means a lot of these citizens wouldn't have got pepper sprayed and everything, y'all. That means I would have never had to see the reason why this man came in town, because I didn't see the male leadership standing up that needed to stand up. And I can call names, but I won't. But I see people in this room, you know, good folks like Britt Bishop. It was people that was there, but the right ones wasn't there. And I didn't see that, man. So then I called this man. He comes in town. I would have never had to call him, y'all, if that warrant wouldn't have been signed, y'all. Drop these charges, bring my man home, and let's start anew, man. Give all these people that got charges and give them their freedom back, y'all. And I'm standing on this, and I'm just saying, I hope this ain't a publicity stunt. This ain't nothing to play with. Because if you was in that jail cell right now, that he's been in for the last 4 months, in solitary confinement, they won't even let him in general population because they don't want him to get nothing started, y'all. Come on. For real? And we gonna stand for this? I'm not. And I'm just saying where the African American community is really going, when are we gonna really stand up?
Come on now.
Together, say it one more time. Together, I ain't had to finish it. Together, I'm saying, and no, none against the white folks in here, man. Y'all, I love y'all, man. I appreciate any help y'all give us, man. But I'm talking about us as black people, man. That's what I stand for,